House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Howdy, everybody. We are back in Tamuning. We have a wonderful location here at Oka. It's a wonderful part of the island to be in. This house is actually under construction right now. And Liz and Gina from RE/MAX Diamond Realty, it is very lovely to be here with both of you. I hope we had some like hollow blocks so you guys could stand on so we'd all be the same height, but apparently not. But what are you guys going to tell us about today?
Well, we said we'd do a field trip. So we're going to go in and talk about how do we get started? How does someone get started in building a home?
And this is a beautiful house, so
Absolutely.
We're going to see everything that goes into it and get some really good information, Gina.
That's right.
All right, let's go inside. Let's check it out.
Hello, this is Gina
And
Liz
Liz.
Duenas, and thank you for joining us today. We've been talking a lot about construction, and so we've talked about construction loans, we talked about turnkey, we've talked about title issues, but at the end of the day, what people really want to know about is, Liz, how did this all get started?
Well, first of all, when anybody wants to build, you have to have the piece of land, right? So you have to identify your piece of land. And I think most importantly, make sure that you have title to the property. And if you have title to the property, then the next step is to find some building plans. So
Now on the piece of land, you already own the property, or
Yes.
you went about and bought it and then you started on your
in this
piece?
particular case, we already own the land.
Okay, great.
And then the next step is make sure your boundary points are marked, because you're going to need those boundary points marked to show your contractor, because he's going to have to lay out the house based on how the lot is laid out as well, to make sure everything is conforming with the setbacks.
Now my other question is, so you already own the piece of property. Did the size of your property affect how much house you could build?
Yes, your size of your property does affect. For example, I wanted to build a bigger house, but the problem is it's a corner lot. And when you're in a corner lot, your normal setbacks are normally 15 from the front and 8 from the side, but because you're in a corner lot, your setback
And for the viewers out there who don't know what a setback is, simply put, your house has to be so many feet away from your boundary point.
Exactly.
Okay.
So once you have that all established, then you can go to the building plan process. And finding a contractor, of course, is pretty important. And when you find a contractor, you want to see what sort of house plans do they have, what homes have they built. Go and inspect the sampling just to see whether the quality of the work they're doing suits your taste and style.
If I already have an idea of what I want, or a floor plan that I have, could I just use that instead?
You could take your idea and your scheme and you take it to your contractor and you tell them, this is what I want. You lay it out for them so they have an idea, but they'll have to take it to their planner, the person that puts the plans together, and then they have to get like this plan right now shows all the stamps, like an engineering. You need an engineer's stamp to show that these plans have been approved by the government.
Okay.
On top of it, you'll need Guam EPA, you need Public Works, Guam Water Works. This whole set of plans have to be stamped by appropriate government agencies.
Before you had your plans done, how did you put together your financing? I mean, what are the ways? Did your contractor come up with the financing, or because was there a budget in mind when you came up with your plan?
Well, when you have to decide what is the contractor charging, and then you determine how many square footage you want for your home.
Okay.
You have to, of course, have a budget. If you're getting a loan, you have to already know what that is.
Okay.
And back it into the size of the home.
I see.
But the one thing I want to point out is, as you build the home, there's always tweaking. Oh, I want this, I want the wall, I want extra stuff.
I want a better light fixture. I want a bigger kitchen.
You have to have an extra budget to do that, which is what happened here. We wanted this, we wanted that, and everything is cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. There's added costs. And,
so you have to budget for cha-ching. You need a cha-ching budget.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And bear in mind, between husband and wives, you're bound to knock heads because one party wants this, the other party wants that. So you got to compromise and have middle ground in terms of of the home.
So basically, how did you get started? You already owned the lot, you had a plan in mind, you had a budget already set up, whether you're financing or you happen to, maybe mom and dad's helping you with a construction loan or whoever, you have the money already set up. So you had your budget, you went to the contractor, and then this got produced.
This got produced.
Okay.
So once you get...
How long did all that take? I mean, was it quick? Was it?
No, I think your planning process for your paperwork and getting this plan could be anywhere from 2 to 3 months.
Wow.
And that's why when people come to us to say, hey, I found the land, I want to get a loan, you have to back up and say you can't go to the bank unless you have this.
If you're planning on financing.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you're not and you have cash available, then you can go further and have everything built and then work it out with a contractor. The contractor will have a payment plan in terms of completion of the house.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So then did you actually get the floor plan put together and you went to different contractors to get a price from different contractors, or how did you do that part?
Well, I was working with one particular contractor. I liked the project that he put together. In fact, rather than me coming, I wanted it easy, so I picked one of the houses that he had already built, and I worked with that particular floor plan. And so he drew up the papers based on the floor plan I liked. Maybe we had him tweak it a little bit, and then as we went along, again, this is where the money comes in. Well, I want to change this, I want to add this.
Did he charge for all those changes?
Of course. Nobody works for free.
Okay,
no one works for free.
So just changing the plans alone, you had to pay for that.
Yes.
And then when you do construction and you see something you don't like and you want to change that, there's the cha-ching budget went into effect.
And then, of course, with a contractor, they have a budget of, let's say, a countertop. He already has a price in place.
Okay.
Now, we wanted a granite countertop. So, of course, any change order or any additional, then we have to pay the difference.
I see.
So the construction quote will cover X amount, but on top of that, we have to pay extra.
So when he gave you the quote for the plans you selected, it included everything done, but you just had to pay for all the upgrades?
Extras, yes.
Okay, good to know.
It didn't include the air conditioner, didn't include certain things. So again...
Well, this is a wonderful, like, extra long countertop. Did it include this?
This was included in the plan, and
okay, great.
The good part with some contractors is sometimes they have standard stuff they use, or sometimes we go and we make the selection.
I see.
And if it's more than the budget, then
that's the cha-ching.
Cha-ching, yes.
Cha-ching goes into effect.
Yeah.
Well, Liz, this is, I mean, I think we could go for a couple more hours just talking about how this process got started and where to go from there, but maybe we could do that in another episode.
Yes.
I hope the information that we gave you today was going to help you get started if you're out there looking to build a house. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gina.
And I'm Liz.
From RE/MAX Diamond Realty. Thank you.
Bye.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E.